Welcome to the show, everybody. Better get my radio guys going here. Let's see. Okay, we got the radio guys going. We got the recorder going. We got everything going here, it appears, on this crappy day out there. But you know what? It is Halloween. Boo. Happy Halloween. I love your costume, by the way. Look at that costume. You guys really dressed up this year, I can tell. And so did I. Look at there, right there. A little pumpkin head, your city, your voice, Paul K. Lemire, 4680Q Radio, live every day at noon. And I have my I Got Your Back Halloween shirt on. Yeah, I got your back. I got your spine there. I wish some people need a spine. Maybe I could take it and give it to them. Anyway, here we are, 44 degrees when I got up at 5 in the morning. Barometer taking a big dip. Big dip. That old barometer, 2875. That's the lowest I've seen it since winter, to be honest with you. And that means rain, and that's what we're getting with high humidity. Let's hope it clears up this afternoon so the kids can go out there and have a good Halloween, a safe Halloween, and not have to go out there in the rain and miserable weather. We don't want that. But I tell you, there's a lot of people who are going, boy, this weather, I'm sore. This cold, chilly, damp October weather, it's a killer. It's a killer. I'm going to adjust my hat. Anything under 50, I wear my hat. So that's why you've been seeing me with my hat on lately. It's a chilly out there. Yeah, Halloween. You gotta love Halloween. We had fun when we were kids. Today it's a little bit different. With so much crappy stuff going on in the world and disgusting people on the streets that you can't have your kids running around by themselves like we did when we were kids. And Halloween to us was a really big deal. We're Catholics, so the next day we were off. We didn't have to go to school. It was a holiday. November 1st was All Saints Day. So when we went out for Halloween night, the next day we get sit there and stuff ourselves with candy with all our booty that we managed to scoop up during Halloween night. And we were out till 9 o'clock, sometimes 10. We went to all different neighborhoods. We just didn't stick in our neighborhoods. I mean, we'd get together with our friends and we planned where we were going to go. And the first place we always went, there's always the first house we wanted to stop at, no matter what. We bypass everything and go right to that house. And that was the corner of Morrison and Portage Road, which was Dr. McGarry's house. Why did we go there first? Well, because they gave out full-size chocolate bars. Unbelievable. Back in the day, I mean, they weren't expensive like they were today, but still, they were expensive for those days. But I'm sure that McGarry's went to, I don't know, probably the National Grocers then or something like that and bought them by the boxes. They didn't bother with the ones you got at Zellers or whatever. They went for the full-size ones. And, yeah, we always wanted to get one of those. That's for sure. We didn't want to miss out on that. And then we did our rounds, and we'd go, oh, man, we were out for 3 hours. We'd go out when it got dark. Got all dressed up, and there was no bought costumes. You wouldn't go and buy a costume. You'd make a costume. Your parents would help you, and in those days, you could go as anything because nobody was insulted by whatever you dressed up as. You want to dress up as a black, you dressed up black with blackface. You want to dress up as an Indian, you dressed up as an Indian. You want to dress up as a hobo, you got your stick, put your bag on the end of it, got old dirty tramp clothes and walked around. It didn't matter back then. You want to dress up as an Arab, a sheik, you could dress up as it without anybody getting mad, right? I mean, today, obviously, if you did that, oh man, you'd have people yelling at you, and it'd be a nightmare. You just don't want to do it. It's all way too politically correct. That's what I'm trying to say. Bada bee. And it's just not that way anymore. We can't have fun with stuff anymore because there's too many people who are butthurt over everything. You'd have every Karen coming off their front porch yelling at you if you did that. So the fun's been taken out of Halloween. Everything's commercial now. All the kids got uniforms, costumes they picked up. They don't make them themselves anymore. We made them all ourselves. We had nowhere to go. We'd go to thrift stores and pick up stuff or whatever you wanted it to be. And it was fun. It was fun. We had more fun than the kids today. Really, we get last year was busy at our place, but usually we got like less than 20 kids, 10 maybe, 15. Last year was a lot. There was about 25 or 30, a little bit more. So there's more people moving into our neighborhood because the neighborhood I live in used to be, Scott Subdivision used to be the premier subdivision, probably one of the first subdivisions in the city. Once they built that, all the businessmen moved there. I mean, Al McBain lived there. Bill Slovak lived next door to me. George S. Butt, the photographer, lived there. The guys who run Flexo products, the Parkers live there. The Cohen Salad Steel, they live there. There was a lot of business people who lived in our neighborhood. But as they built up the new subdivisions like Mount Carmel and Rolling Acres, especially, these businessmen moved up into those kind of houses. And of course, I stayed. I stayed. I love our neighborhood. So there's a lot more kids. That's what I'm getting at. Back in the day, we had a lot of kids in our neighborhood. We all went to school together. St. Mary's, I went to. Some kids went to. Well, they would have went to Princess Elizabeth or Drummond Road School at that point. There was Drummond Road School as well. And then we all met up when we ended up at Stanford. Half the people I went to school with in public school went to NFCBI. Another bunch of them went to Meyer from Burdett Drive in Althea, and then our neighborhood went to Stanford. So, yeah, it was a fun time when we were kids with Halloween. We had a ball. And then, of course, as soon as we got old enough to have a few wobbly pops, we ended up over the river for Halloween and that kind of thing. So, as you grow up, you move off these streets and get into the bar action, which is lots of fun. Always fun. Anyway, that's what we did. Too bad we can't do it anymore. Happy Halloween to all of you. Happy Halloween. That's my cousin walking over there with her dog. There you go. Nice to see her alive and kicking. That's good. I don't talk to her that often. Probably should talk to her more than I do. Happy Halloween to her, too. Anyway, so we look at this weather and we go, I hope it holds out. It's nice for the kids. But there's one thing you know for sure, winter's coming. So you want to make sure that all your systems in your car are running tip top. That's why you take your car to Ken Hunter at Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop. He's going to check your car out. Make sure your battery works. The coldest day of the year is when you get in your car and go like this and the battery doesn't work. Your car won't start. He also checks your brakes, your tires, checks your heaters, your defrosters. Make sure that your car is running A1 for winter. You don't want to break down in this crappy weather. Let's face it. You want your car to be running A1, so you make sure you get it in there. Be proactive, not reactive. Let Ken check out your car. He's going to make sure it's running fantastic, and you won't have any problems this winter. He's also has a full body shop there. And in that regard, you take your car in a little bit wrecked, a big ding, a little ding, a major accident. He'll send it back to you in showroom condition. Full body shop with the qualified technicians there to work on your car. Where's this shop? On Oakwood Drive, next to the Kia dealership. Easy to get to. You'd go to wildbillsauto.ca. That's his website. Go there. You see all the services they provide. You can make appointments. You can do everything off of there. Just fantastic. And he's going to take care of your car, support our sponsors. They support the show. And we thank them very much for supporting the show. Now, while you're at wildbillsauto.ca, don't forget to jump over to YouTube and look for either Paul Lemire or Your City, Your Voice. Subscribe to the channel. Come on. If you're watching the videos and you like it, subscribe. It costs nothing. You get notifications when I drop a video, which happens every afternoon around 3 o'clock on YouTube, of course. I do the show live on 4680q.com every day at noon. But yeah, subscribe to the channel. Come on, let's get more people involved. You know, we got an election coming up. We got to know what's going on. It's your money, your city, your voice, your money that they're spending. And they're spendthrifts, so we got to watch them. As well, another announcement here. If you want to text me something during the show, if you're listening live on 4680q.com, well, 289 994 7560. Just send me a text. It'll go dingy lingy lingy on this nice little phone here. And I will answer you on the show or take your question, say it on the show, and answer it. I got an itchy nose. Hey, text me. What does an itchy nose mean? I don't know. So, yeah, you can do that. 289 994 7560. And you know what? Even if you message me after the show, if you see the video on YouTube, leave a comment on the video on YouTube or text me something if you don't want to leave a comment. And I'll get it and I'll talk about it. And speaking of comments, let's take a look at several comments from the show yesterday. At Iceman69, wing time. That's right, Johnny. Ringo Bean was headed to Grand Central for some choice wings. And on his way, he stopped in the studio, said hello. My nose is really itchy. Said hello, and we talked for a minute and that, and then I had to get going to get on the air here. But he was over there, so he goes, wing time. OIN611. I've never had a comment from whoever this is, but I sure do thank them for watching the show and leaving a comment. That's awesome. I'll keep on watching and subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. Share it with your friends. Share the show with your friends. If you know any business people who want to market their business on the show, let them know. I don't charge a lot, and I talk about everybody. I talk about all my sponsors. I give them a really good ad here. Keep your thing. Keep doing your thing, man. Yeah, I'm going to keep doing my thing as long as I can. I want to hit 1,000 shows. Really enjoying your videos, and the Habs have a really exciting team. Cheers, mate. Well, cheers to you there, mate, and thank you for watching. So I guess I must be a Habs fan, and he watches the Habs show on Wednesdays, absolutely, and we thank you for commenting on the Habs show, absolutely. Thank you for commenting on Your City, Your Voice. Keep watching. Come on. Keep giving comments. We'll talk about them. At Penny Brookify. Can't advocate enough for cancer screening. And that was in regards to my little a tip of the hat to MPP Cheeto Bandito, Wayne Gates, for really advocating for prostate cancer screenings and making them free for everybody. So not just people with the money to be able to afford the tests can have it done. It's a preventative measure. Prostate cancer is 95% curable, basically. So if you catch it early, it's a good thing. And to be able to do that, you need to have your prostate screened. So Penny Brookify says she can't advocate enough for cancer screening. I actually had a mammogram today. Went to GNMI near Metro, quick and easy, although not painless. Never been squeezed so hard in my life. Okay. Well, I like the screening. You should get it done. I mean, come on. We want to find out if we got a problem beforehand. Once you know there's a problem, it's probably too late with prostate cancer, and it's so easy. It's a simple blood test. It used to cost $35. I get it free. I'm over 65. But if you're under 65, you still have to pay. It might be $40 or $50 now. I don't know what the price is. But get it done. If you have to pay, get it done. And hopefully our MPP, Wayne Gates, will advocate hard enough and strong enough that people will agree and they'll get that free for us, which it should be anyway. Should be anyway. Screening's important. At Habs for Life 41. Where's the Habs show? Well, Habs for Life 41. The Habs show is on Wednesdays at noon, and it's on YouTube, so you can find it from our last show. I know you left a comment here, and that's fine. Great to hear from you, actually. I haven't seen you leaving comments on the Habs show. maybe you have a hard time finding it, but just look for Absolutely on YouTube or Paul Lemire, my channel, and it'll pop up. But yeah, there it is. And thanks for the comment. I appreciate it. Good to see you again. Oh, I love hanging around with my Habs fans when we do the show and talk after. It's fantastic. At Dave Wheeler, the Reagan Foundation will never bring charges. The ad was in public realm. Trump's a chump. Well, yeah. It's really not about whether they're going to bring charges about the ad itself, public realm. Yeah, it's in public realm. They can use it. About changing it is a problem. You should use it as a whole, not just pick out bits and pieces to fool people, number one. And it was more about foreign interference with a ruling regarding tariffs and trying to influence a decision made by running the ad. So they're looking at it as foreign interference in a decision that's going to be made by the courts, whether tariffs are legal. Trump can legally put them on countries or not. So they're waiting for the ruling, and he's running this ad to try to influence them, which is influence peddling, which is no, it's a no-no. It's a no-no. And as a matter of fact, anything that they had up on air was dropped real quick. Trump put a 10% tariff on top of everything that's already on Canada right now, and it sure didn't help relations. To Trump's a chump. That, my friends, is what TDS looks like. Amen. So there you go, Davey boy. You had your say. But I always get the last say because I have the microphone. How about that? Woo! Happy Halloween to you. Speaking of TDS, Canadians are blaming everything on Trump. They blame everything on Trump. Everything's Trump's fault. I mean, do they realize that Trump has made deals with over 11 countries and 25 countries of the European Union since implementing tariffs? Trump's made deals with so many countries, it's unbelievable. There's only a couple of countries he hasn't made deals with, and most of them are terrorist countries, in Canada. And yet we're the U.S.'s alleged best friends. We're directly connected to the U.S. in as far as economy-wise. They're right over here. I could throw a rock and probably hit the border. But for some reason, for some bizarre reason, nobody can understand, not even Dave Wheeler, we can't make a deal. So whose fault is that? Well, it's Trump's. It's Trump's, even though he's made deals with almost every country in the world. It's Trump's fault. I mean, doesn't that tell you where the problem lies? We can't come to an agreement. It put the blame for this nightmare that we're going through where it belongs, and that's on our politicians. This isn't rocket science. This isn't rocket science where to put the blame. It's not on Trump. It's not on Trump. Trump didn't run the country for 10 years into the ground. Why are they blaming Trump? Trump's doing what he's supposed to do, protect the American economy, protect the American people. He has no onus to protect Canada or make a good deal that'll help Canadians. It's not what he was elected for. We didn't elect him. Why people think he's going to do that is beyond me. Big Mouth Billy Bass up in Toronto, he keeps up his elbows up campaign, and so does Carney. He tries to. But I seriously, you want to put the blame on the mental midgets that run this country and this province. Yeah, I don't get this. I don't get it. Okay, moving on to city council notes. I still have some stuff to talk about with city council. I'm not finished with them yet. And there'll be more next week. Don't worry. I usually last about a week after the council meeting before I stop and wait for the next council meeting, which will be a budget meeting. The big one. The bigger one. So apparently money is not a big deal with our councilors. The gentleman on Montrose Road, he got his $15,000 from what I saw. No problem. With only Councilor Lococo appearing to be opposed to it. And That's about $700,000 we've given away in the last couple meetings because we gave La Pena 678,000. Now we've given this guy 15,000. That's 693, and who knows what else. So we've given away this money to people who really, really had no right to get it. Now, in the La Pena case, the guy put his application in late. There's a date you got to have it in by, and he missed the deadline. Well, that's not taxpayers' fault. So they said, "Well, don't worry about it. We're going to give you 678,000." And in this case, this guy needed to put in 30,000 bucks for a sewer line, I think. And he claims that city council told him they would pay half. And when he brought it to city council, they said, "Yeah, okay. Yeah, we'll pay half. Don't worry about it." So that was paid. I guess that if you have rules about certain things, they don't mean a lot because there are no rules. Do what you want and then come back and ask us, and we'll give you whatever you want. Don't worry about it. I don't know why, but that's what happened. Now, the speed camera situation came up, but this discussion is really moot at this point. Yesterday, I think it was yesterday, Doug Ford said, "They're gone. You're done. You're done. You're done." And it's over. He got rid of the one-eyed bandits, outlawing them and telling regions and municipalities to get rid of them by November 14th. It's over. Get rid of them. And that's it, which is great news to me because I've been fighting these things ever since day one as a cash grab. There's nothing that makes anything safe about the roads because they're using them. That's a bunch of baloney. It's two speak, double speak to get your money, to grab your money. It's nonsense. So they're going to get calming traffic measures and use them to slow traffic down, which is fantastic, without hammering us for $120 for going 2 kilometers over the speed limit wherever these cameras are. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Now, if you get a ticket before November 14th, when they have to be shut down by, you're going to have to pay it. So you still got to be careful out there. You still got to be careful. Watch your speed. The one-eyed bandits are still in action, ready to pick your pocket for no apparent reason other than money. Money. Show me the money. Yes, they have to be paid. So be careful. You're still on the hook out there, but they're going the way of the posties. They're getting out of there. They're gone. But hey, don't get too complacent because as fast as the Ford government took them away and outlawed them, the next liberal government, who we know loves taxing and spending people, they never met a tax they didn't like. And it would not surprise me if when they came in, they put them back in force because it's money. They love making more money and they love spending more money. Tax and spend, that's their mantra. So, yeah, it could happen. We could get them back even though we don't like them. Now, Councillor Lococo brought up this ridiculous Diwali or whatever it's called fireworks problem where people are firing off fireworks in the early mornings of the hour. I mean, early mornings of the hour, early hours of the morning. I mean, I heard this for 5 days. These guys blowing off fireworks at 1 a.m. It's ridiculous. And there's only one day that anybody was allowed to set off fireworks in a private sense, like in your backyard or on the street or whatever, and that was Canada Day. We celebrate Canada Day. We're Canadians. And then Mona Patel brought this to council about Diwali, setting up fireworks for Diwali. And we're going to have more groups that want to set off stuff. And they said, okay, city council. They blew that one. They should have said, no, Canada Day only. That's it. But they didn't. Now they're blowing them off 5 days in a row, every night till the wee hours of the morning. And people are complaining. They're on the phones. They're blowing up Lori's probably messaging and Facebook page and call your telephone because it's driving people crazy. And they gotta ban this. It's been banned in a lot of cities. Maybe even most cities. They banned this stuff. Niagara Falls, of course. They pandered to everybody. So I still advocate for the only day being able to set off fireworks is Canada Day. We're in Canada, not Diwali or not anything. The Chinese New Year, I don't care what it is. You're not setting off fireworks. That's the bylaw. So they got to change that back and get rid of it. Big item of contention. I'm glad Lori Lococo brought it up. It needed to be brought up, and hopefully they'll change that. They'll change that. It should be changed, banned completely, with the exception of one day, Canada Day. That's what I say. Hey, do you agree with me? Yes or no? Let me know in the comments. You think we should ban these? I do. I think they should be banned. I don't know about you. I do. I think they should be banned for sure. No doubt about it. Get rid of them. Okay, I'm going to get to my second sponsor, Pete's Pizza. And, I always talk about Pete's Pizza. Don't mind me. There's flies flying around. I know I see spots a lot of times, but there's something flying around in here. Um, Pete's Pizza is my favorite pizza. Why is it my favorite pizza, you ask? Because they use the Mancini family recipe for their sauce and crust. They use fresh ingredients for toppings, and they know how to put that beautiful blend of brick and mozzarella cheese on the sauce, on the pizza, cook it perfectly. How can you go wrong when you have great ingredients to work with? And that's the key to a pizza. But the second key is consistency. It's got to be consistently good. And that's what they come up with. They do it consistently good all the time. You're not going to get any wacky surprises from Rex or Mike. They know how to make a pizza. Put on fresh toppings, you got a winner. They have great wings, panzerotti, poutine, steak and cheese poutine. They run the gamut of good chicken parm sandwiches. They run the gamut of good food. You're not going to be disappointed. Open on Friday and Saturday till 2 in the morning for your convenience, till midnight during the week. Brand new location, Kaler and Thoroldstone Road, to serve the people in northwestern Niagara Falls. There's that fly again. So you can't beat it. I'm telling you, order your pizza today. You know you want a pizza. Everybody loves pizza. You know you want one. So, hey, do yourself a favor. Order pizza 905-374-2222 or go to petespizzavictoria.ca. And you can order right off the website. They use Dine, Skip the Dishes, the whole gamut of delivery services. You can't go wrong. You know you want a pizza, get one. Support our sponsors. They support the city. They're good corporate citizens. And thank you for supporting our sponsors. I really appreciate that. And I appreciate everybody who watches the videos and supports the show. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I feel like Gomer Pyle. Surprise, surprise. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Now, does Niagara on the Lake know something that we don't? Why do I ask that question? Well, because they get no casino money, nothing. They've got a thriving tourist industry down there, really nice. And these councilors managed to keep their tax increase to a manageable 1.81%. To those about to rock, I salute you. That's fantastic. 1.81%. How about that? Now, they're really on the ball. They got their act together. They're trying to balance their budget, which we should be doing in Niagara Falls. I mean, it'd be very easy to do in Niagara Falls if they wanted to be honest with you, but we see what happens. Now, last year was a 7.34% increase, a little bit more than Niagara Falls. Maybe they're calling that a catch-up year. We had our 7.9% catch-up year, but the ketchup never lasted. Wasn't enough ketchup on the budget sandwich because now they keep trying to give us ketchup budgets every year. But it looks like a well-managed budget to me right there. They don't get $20 million a year to help them manage their budget like we do. There were really some good increases in revenue that gave them the breathing room They're on the ball with parking, planning fees, and bus revenue, returning these revenues to the taxpayers in the form of a lower tax bill. You gotta love it. You gotta love it when they give back. Giving is nice. We give, we never get back. So that's fantastic. Congratulations to Niagara-on-the-Lake for tightening their belts rather than telling us to tighten our belts. Finding new sources of revenue and bringing in what could be considered basically pretty well a balanced budget. So way to go, Niagara-on-the-Lake. Maybe King James of Niagara Falls should give a call down to the Lord Mayor of Niagara-on-the-Lake and say, what are you doing down there? How are you making it work? How's it happening? Can you give us some tips? Send the penguin and the squirrel down to spy on them, see what's going on. Hey, good news about these veteran crosswalks, everybody. Yes, they didn't cost $75,000 after all. They only cost $48,000. I mean, Graham Speck told me that the ones in Welland cost $4,000 for $8,000 for two of them. $48,000. But it's better than 75. I'll give you that. Seems like a lot, but hey, they did save the taxpayers $27,000 if you look at it that way. I think it cost the taxpayers $48,000, but I want those crosswalks. I want to honor our veterans. I really do, and so 48,000 divided by 100,000 people or whatever, that's not much. I mean, they paid $25,000 for a friggin' concrete ping pong table. Go figure that one out. So they're okay. They're installed. We can enjoy them now on Remembrance Day, November the 11th. I've seen it. I've seen the one at Fairview Cemetery. It's just beautiful. They got one on Main Street in Chippewa. Just beautiful. Thank you so much. I love our veterans, and I want to keep honoring our veterans as well. Just fantastic. But they're done, so we're ready to go. The bill, $48,000. They're there. And allegedly, Eric Idle said they use the best paint and everything, so they should last a long time. Let's see if they do. So, of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays won another game. They're up 3-2. They could seal off the series tonight. Not that I care, because I couldn't care less about baseball. But a lot of people do. And they're all excited about the Blue Jays. So if you're going to go to Toronto tonight, to Nathan Phillips Square or any other venue in Toronto to watch it, be careful. Because win or lose, there's going to be all kinds of trouble going on in Toronto. You know that. They win, they're going to be rioting and tearing down buildings and stuff. If they lose, they're going to be rioting and tearing down buildings and stuff. It's just the way it works. So if you're in downtown Toronto tonight enjoying the game at a public venue, or at the game if you can afford a $20,000 ticket, Wayne Gates did. I saw him at the game. He was celebrating going to a game. Jeez. He gets some money. It's a lot of money for a ticket. He was with somebody else with a ticket. Not a problem, but a little bit of a problem for me. I couldn't fork out $3 or $4 grand for a ticket to go see a baseball game. Are you kidding me? I wouldn't pay 2 cents. That's just me. The police are going to be out in full force. Too bad Canada doesn't have a National Guard to bring in to help the Toronto police. Could be a messy situation if you're going. So be alert, be aware, be vigilant, but most of all, be safe. Be safe. Enjoy the win. I don't know if they're going to win or not. I have no idea. But if they win, enjoy the win. But don't go crazy. Don't start tearing stuff apart and being a bunch of idiots. We see that in a lot of big U.S. Cities. After they win a major title of basketball or baseball, football, they get out of control. It's just a mess. We saw it in Vancouver when they won the Stanley Cup. Come on, be smart. Don't get in any trouble out there. Staying in Toronto, Like I said, Ford got rid of the speed cameras, both time, came to their senses, understood exactly what they were: one-eyed bandits, cash grabs, big conversation. But you know what? I know that what's going to happen here. Every Karen that loves these cameras is going to be out there crying. They're all going to be crying about it. Greatest rip off of all time, next to the carbon tax, by the way. But they're not going to let this go. You know they're going to be writing letters to Ford, every left-wing mayor in Ontario, crying about safety. The parents groups crying about safety. Anybody who gets part of this money is going to be crying about it. And you know what? What's going to happen? I just know the way Canada works. Living here all my life, especially over the last 10 years, they'll cry loud enough. And what Ford will probably do to settle them down, calm them down. They should put lights over their heads, giving calming measures. What he's going to do before the next election is say, well, let's do it this way. Let the municipalities choose if they want to have speed cameras or not. And you know what's going to happen in Niagara Falls? 8 people right down the street here are going to put their hand up to have them in Niagara Falls. I will guarantee it. If the same council gets back, if you ask them today, they wanted them. They're already spending the money, the penguin and the squirrel. You think they won't be back? Of course they would. Of course they would. But that doesn't have to be the case. We have an election coming up. Don't forget that. These guys love to spend found money, like drunken sailors on shore leave. And when they spend money, they're spending our money. Taxpayers get hit. So they love to have that money. So don't put it past them to do that. Now, hold it now. What's going on with this here? What's going on over here? I don't trust anything. I see some unsavory stuff over there. I'll let you know what it is later, maybe. Hey, remember on one of my shows, I talked about this Brigitte Macron. Emmanuel Macron is the president of France. His wife, remember I was talking about that? That his wife's really a man? Well, let me talk about that for a minute. I have a never-ending fascination with these oddball things and these conspiracy theory things, but now the truth is coming out. And Brigitte Macron, in reality, is Jean-Michel Tronu, a guy who underwent gender reassignment surgery to become Brigitte Tronu, not only Macron's wife, but could actually be Macron's father. It's getting wackier, this story. How can it get any wackier than it already is? Well, hold my beer. This could be Macron's wife could be his father. I know. Halloween, happy Halloween. I'm telling you, if it's not, it's at least a close relative. This gets more bizarre by the day. Now, Brigitte was registered as a male on France's official tax portal. Now, they're blaming it when somebody discovered it on a hacker. Why did somebody hack into the system and change the sex? That's what they're blaming it on. But you know what? I think somebody just forgot to change it. Now, Candace Owens was sued by Macron. So were 2 other reporters, but the reporters that initially investigated this had it overturned by a court just last spring, I believe, on evidence that she really is a man. She's a man, baby. She's a man. But nothing has come of that as yet. Owens challenged Brigitte to take a DNA test to prove her womanhood. She refused to do it. Nope, I'm not going to do that. Why? Would that settle it once for and for all? Oh, yeah, it would. It really would. Now, Jean Michel Troignoux fathered two children. That's a fact. This guy. One of them, possibly Jean Jacques Trudeau, now known as Emmanuel Macron. That's what they're saying. I mean, this gets confusing, man. There's got to be some DNA testing done. So, to sum it up, what happened is a transgender formerly known as Jean Michel Troignoux, aka Bridget Marcon, age 47 at the time and a teacher, picked up on either his son or his relative, Jean Jacques Trudeau, aka Emmanuel Macron, had an illicit affairs with a child. He was 14. And then in the 20s, married him. You got that? Are you following me here? No, I know it's tough. Now, Bridget Macron is said to be 72 years old, while Macron himself is 47, a 25-year age gap. So, all of the above that I just said, all this stuff I just talked about is entirely possible. Is it true? I don't know. And it's known and it's a fact, they did meet when he was 14 and Bridget was his teacher. They did have an affair, only announced after he turned 18. And they did marry when he was in his 20s. So all that's true. The rest of the story is being uncovered as we speak. And it's truly crazy. I think a lot of people would be shocked at the number of transgenders there are married to high profile politicians and celebrities. There's a lot more than you know. I mean, why do you think all of a sudden being transgender is kind of like a fad? It's become so mainstream. Since after COVID, before COVID, nothing. You hardly ever heard of it. But now after COVID, there's thousands of them. Now it's only about probably less than 1% of the population that we're talking about here, but they're on all over the place, on every channel, on every runway, catwalk, everywhere. I mean, they had a couple running the military and then the Navy and everything in the U.S. Military, but they're gone now. These kooks, right? These mental cases, they're all gone now. Trump got rid of them all. They're out there and more all the time. And if that isn't the bizarre story of the day, I don't know what to tell you. But remember the trans-based opening ceremony of the French Olympics? The entire ceremony was designed by Bridget Macron and her chosen gay event director. The theme was totally trans, go figure. This is all adding up. It's all adding up. And when you get high people in high places making these decisions, what are they going to decide? Hey, you know what they're going to decide? We're seeing it every day, trying to mainstream this everywhere. Everywhere. And all these companies that woke and go broke, Bud Light, who else? Who else was doing that? Oh, the NFL, Bud Light, Target was trying it. Oh, a bunch of them. And every time they try it, it changes. Oh, Cracker Barrel. Every time they try to go woke, they go broke and they change it. So, anyway, to my third sponsor, Hamel Machine Company. And you know, Hamel Machine's been around since 1948, and for a really good reason, because they're the best at what they do. I mean, any industry that comes to an area like Niagara Falls or any other city for that matter, they want to know there's a good machine shop there with qualified personnel that can take care of their problems. When a machine breaks down, it's not producing. When it's not producing, it's not making money. So they need somebody there to help them when they get in trouble with their machines. Now, who does that? Hamel Machine Company, right over here on Bridge Street. They've done it for the wine industry. They've done it for the agricultural product industry and for the food industry. That's what they do. They get in there. They can either repair, reverse engineer. They can manufacture. They have 3D printers, water jet cutters. They've got it all the technology, all the equipment, and the trained personnel to use it, which is so important these days. A lot of parts come from all over the world. You can't just get them like this. There's where Hamel Machine can make the parts. They can reverse engineer them for them. That's how good they are. Been around since 1948. Go to their website, hamel.ca, and you will see all the crazy things that they do, the wonderful things that they do for these industries. They do fabricating, lathing, computer design, rebuilds, and overalls, custom and reverse engineer parts from samples, water jet cutters. They got it all. They got it all. They can help you, even if you're the little guy who wants a gate made for your backyard. You just give them a call. They'll help you design it. They'll help you fabricate it. They'll fabricate it for you. Get a powder coat, whatever you need. They can do it. Hamel Machine Company. Tell them Paul from Your City, Your Voice sent you. HamelMachine.ca, and support our sponsors. They support the city. They're good corporate citizens. Okay, let's jump over to the Trump train. I always got something to talk about when Trump is flying around the world, meeting with everybody, making deals with everybody in the world except Canada, of course. For some reason, just can't do it. Our leaders are inept, incompetent. Trump met with Xi of China and laid the law down about tariffs, about helping Russia, and about interference in South America. And it appears they were able to make a deal regarding tariffs and rare earth minerals, which is fantastic. The U.S. agreed to cut down its tariff rates against Chinese goods, and China agreed to impose new export restrictions on rare earth minerals, which is good because you don't want them getting into the hands of terrorists or our enemies. They're imperative for making guided missiles and planes and any kind of military equipment. The deal has steadied the relationship between the world's two largest economies, which is China and the United States. They also talked about fentanyl and soybeans. But Trump said Taiwan didn't come up in the talks. And we know that China has been rattling its saber at Taiwan for a long time now, threatening something that they know Trump wouldn't put up with if they decided to make some kind of a move on Taiwan. But the other stuff is good. The other stuff is good. They're getting down to it. We'll see how long it lasts. The trade war truce is said to be fragile at best, mostly because the root causes of the trade war are still unresolved. Fentanyl production, access to U.S. technology and rare earth minerals, and who gets them. For now, they have an agreement. Stay tuned on this one, see what happens. And I know that Trump just ordered today that all of his military, and I'll talk about that in a minute. We'll talk about that in a minute. And it has to do with China and Russia doing nuclear tests. Now, what else has popped up in the news? Oh boy. Oh boy. And I love this one. The auto pen. The auto pen is back, and there are going to be a lot of people in trouble over this. It could actually cause a constitutional crisis in the United States. It could be imminent that there is going to be a crisis because there is no proof that Biden actually knew what was being signed by the auto pen, nor did he actually authorize certain people to use it. They were just using it at will. Now, every single item signed by the auto pen is under scrutiny. Yes, the president can delegate someone to use the auto pen if he's not there to sign an important document, but he has to authorize somebody to do that. It's usually used for special requests by staff. In other words, if you send a letter to the president asking him for a signed autograph picture, signed picture, they'll send it to you, but probably the signature will have been done by the auto pen because he gets thousands of requests and he doesn't have time to do all that. So at the end of the day, they get it signed by auto pen. But for important legal documents and executive orders, he's got to sign them. And pardons, by the way. So if somebody else used the auto pen to sign them and he didn't give authorization, and there's no proof that he gave authorization, then it's illegal. and whoever did that could be in trouble. And that's where it all falls apart. The thousands of pardons have no recorded authorization, so they'd all be invalid. And that's Fauci and everybody. And that's where the Department of Justice comes in to actually scrutinize all this, investigate this, and then find out who was behind it and where the authority came from for them to use it. Now, basically, the thought is in most circles that they're running the government by autopen. Biden had no clue what was going on. He was right out of it, oblivious to everything going on. He was just a talking head put there by other entities that wanted to run the government, and they did. So this is going to be an interesting one. Stay tuned to this. This isn't going away, ladies and gentlemen. This is a big, big deal in the United States. Okay, let's get over to some of these sanctuary states. And let's make our first stop in Chicago, where gangs are basically taking over the streets and having firefights with ICE agents and police. Now, Governor Pritzker, this guy's a real piece of work. He's given gangs free rein to fight back and has actually told police to stand down if ICE is fighting with these gangs. Now, Department of Homeland Security head Kristi Noem called out Governor Pritzker and Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson for inciting violence against ICE officers and saying that they're not going to back down. No, ICE is not going to back down. And with Halloween night tonight, they're expecting some major problems as rioters and looters take to the street. There's been an 8,000% increase in death threats against ICE agents, with an illegal alien gang member putting up a $45,000 bounty on the head of Pam Bondi, our attorney general. No, I wish the United States Attorney General. And the bounty is dead or alive. We'd rather see her dead, though. If you could bring her in dead, that would be better to get your money. Other illegals have put $10,000 bounties on ICE agents as well. I think it's like $10,000 if you injure them, break their legs, break them, shoot them, or something. $20,000 if you actually kill them, and more if they're commanders. This is the kind of stuff that's going on in Chicago, this wacky city, and the mayor and governor, they couldn't care less. They're aiding and abetting them, really. Now, make no mistake that these sanctuary state politicians are contributing to this violence and threats on officers due to their repeated vilification and demonization tactics. They're making the situation worse and should just shut up and help get their city and state cleaned up by removal of these illegal, alien, criminal, and gang leaders from their city. Now, Pritzker's resignation is being demanded after he harbored 2 illegal aliens that killed 2 Americans in the state of Illinois. He actually harbored these illegal aliens who killed Americans. I mean, this guy's a national disgrace. He's derelict of his duty as governor of the state of Illinois. And you know what? They should be forced to resign. It's ridiculous. That's what's going on in Chicago. And it isn't any better in any other of the other states. We're looking at San Francisco, Los Angeles, Portland. I mean, Trump's getting them cleaned up, but it's going to take time to clean them all up. Let's face it. It doesn't happen overnight. They've taken over. Now, the government in the U.S. is still shut down. No money's flowing to the people that really need it, like 42 million of them. And the bigger question is, why are 42 million people on these benefits, like welfare, called SNAP benefits? That's the bigger question. But 42 million people are without money to buy stuff. And now they're getting on TikTok and all these other platforms and saying, hey, We don't have any money. We're just going to go into Walmart and take whatever we want. We're taking it. That's all. Try to stop us. They can't arrest all of us. We're going to take as much as we can, all of us. We're taking it. We're going to go in on Saturday, November 3rd. When's November 3rd? Tomorrow's the first, second, Monday. They're going to go in. November 3rd is the day, Monday, and they're going to just start stealing all they can. They're taking what they want because they're not getting money. I mean, like this is a problem. If you're depending on the government for your food, well, the government can also shut off your food supply. Maybe if you had a job and you had money, you wouldn't have to worry about it. Guess what? They don't care. 42 million are on SNAP benefits, and I'll explain what they are in a minute. But they say they're going to go in and just start stealing, and the cops can't stop them all. They're going to steal as much as they can, empty the shelves. They're having big rallies to do this all over the United States. They say they shouldn't have to pay for things because these companies are making millions and billions off of them. And everything should be free. Boy, that sounds like Mamdani, this guy who's running for New York City mayor. Everything free. Government food stores, everything free. Free buses, free government food stores. So it's going to be interesting to see if this goes down on Monday. Stay tuned for this one. Now, the mainstream media blames the Republicans for this shutdown, but every single Republican senator voted to open the government up. So at least they could negotiate about the spending bill. The problem is they need 60 votes. They have 52 of their own, 3 that crossed over Democrats. The rest have to come from the Democrats. They need 60 votes. All they need is 5 Democrats to cross the floor and go with them to open the government, and that's it. They've tried 13 times to do it. The Democrats have refused every time. So it's not the Republicans who are shutting down the government. It's the Democrats and Chuck Schumer. It's really funny because what's holding them up is $1.5 trillion they want to give so illegal aliens can have free health care. And they're saying, no, we're not spending that money on illegal aliens. No, we're not going to do it. The Republicans and the Democrats are holding up government because of that, if you can imagine. So if people are telling you that it's the Republicans, that's fugazi. It isn't. It's false. Everybody says, oh, how does that affect Canada? At the end of the day, it affects Canada. It always affects Canada. Believe me, no matter what they do over there, it affects Canada somehow. Somehow you know it. Everything mutates into across the border. Everything mutates because all these same people are they're going to be protesting in Toronto against Trump and everything. It all comes over the border into Canada somehow. I don't know how, but it does because we have a lot of woke people and these kooks running around too. So 5 Democratic votes, and it's open, and these people get their money, and the air traffic controllers get paid, and everybody else gets paid. Now you blame Trump. I mean, they hate Trump, and it's all his fault. That's what TDS does to people. It's real. But if they're not going to get their SNAP payments, which are supplemental assistance program payments, it helps low-income individuals and families purchase food. Very sad. Tomorrow they're not going to get any money. It's over until the government opens up. And the Democrats are the ones taking their money away, even though mainstream media and the Democratic politicians are blaming the Republicans, which it isn't. Oh, last but not least, can this be true? Can this be true? Bill Gates, this is what I read. I don't know. I would say it's true. Apparently, Bill Gates has finally admitted that he was completely wrong about climate change, which means it was a money grabbing hoax all along. Well. How about that? Another cash grab taken from hard working taxpayers and given to global elitists. This matters, and it matters for Canada too. He's admitted it was a hoax all along. I've been saying that all along. Another cash grab. Now, what does that mean for Chili Con Carney? Well, his whole net zero theft from Canadians agenda is gone. It's over. It's fugazi. Paris Accord, done. All the lunatics running around yelling, you're ruining the earth. Those plastic bottles we just saw at City Council on Tuesday. The earth's not going to end because of climate change. It never was going to end because of climate change. It's all been a farce, all been a hoax. And when I read this, I was going, yeah, I knew that. I'm just hoping this isn't Fugazi news. It looked like it came from a source. But we'll now be free from the climate change hoax if it's true, costing Canadians trillions of dollars. I mean, the United States doesn't have a carbon tax. Mexico doesn't have a carbon tax. We're one of the few places in the world that has a carbon tax. And what if we get all our money back? The whole idea of giving trillions of dollars to politicians to save the earth is preposterous. It always has been. It always has been. It was a money laundering scheme. That's what it was. So that's that. And of course, I'm going to be watching New York City, a big election coming up on Tuesday, November 4th. And the Canadian budget is handed down on November 4th. So we'll see what happens. Lots going on. Like I say, lots going on over the weekend. We're going to be hearing more. Lots going on come Monday and Tuesday. Monday are the riots. People are going to be stealing food if they don't settle this budget and open the government to get them money. Tuesday will be the Canadian budget, which this should be good. Maybe are they going to bring the Liberal government down? Non-confidence vote? We got to hope so, but who knows? Who knows? Don't count on it. We're in Canada. Whatever you think's going to happen never does. We just don't have it in us to be able to do that. Anyway, my time is up here for today. It's 1:00. I thank everybody for tuning in. It's been a pleasure. Have a great Halloween. Give those candies out to those kids. And let's hope and pray for a nice afternoon here and a dry night so they can go and have a really, really good time. I stand in the front window and watch the kids in their costumes. I get a big kick out of it. And some of the costumes are really, really good. Not so much the ones from the stores. You get the Spider-Mans and all that. But the ones that are made, the parents help the kids make them. They come up with some pretty good stuff. They really, really do. Anyway, have a great day, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Your City, Your Voice with Pumpkin Pete back here. Paul K. Lemire, 4680Q, Meteor Crater. How can you go wrong on a finally Friday headed into the Halloween weekend? Just fantastic. Just fantastic. God bless you all. Don't forget to support our sponsors, Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop, Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue, Hamel Machine Company, our great, great sponsors. We love them all. We will talk to you Monday at noon with Manic Monday. Promises made, promises kept. See you then. Have a safe weekend. And if your kids do collect a lot of candy, don't eat it all on them. Don't eat it all on them. Let them have some. We know the parents get into it. Oh, yeah, we know that. We know that. That's a good thing, maybe, because you can't give the kids all this sugar. They're going to be running around for 3 days all weekend. You never settle them down. Have a great weekend, everybody. Love you all. Thank you for tuning in.